ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम् वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तो वागर्थः प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Namaste everyone. Hope you're doing well, keeping healthy, have enough food at home. Everyone's doing okay? All right. So we'll get started. So our warm up, I just had some quick little quiz. No, not a quiz. Just some quick questions to warm us up. So in Kartari Prayoga, the first case noun is often in blank Pratama. This one was a giveaway, right? If it's Kartari Prayoga, then it's going to be Kartari Pratama. So after we look at the verb, we always look on the first case. So if it's Kartari Prayoga, the verb active voice, then the first case is going to be the first case in the sense of the doer of the action. Number two, the Karaka most connected with the third case is blank. So we have to note one thing here. When we're talking about vibhakti and karaka are two different things, okay? A vibhakti can convey a karaka, but it can also convey something else. So for example, second case, Dvitiya vibhakti can convey karma karaka, the object of action, but it could also convey other things. For example, like when prati is connected with any word, it gets the second case. And that does not really have to do anything with the karaka. So we didn't know that karaka and vibhakti are two separate things, but oftentimes, in other places they make them equal to each other. I just want to make that clear. So when I say, so number two, karaka is most connected with third case, that's karana karaka, the karana karaka, right? Karana, the instrument of action. Number three, in Kartari Prayoga, the recipient of the verb can be in what case? Oh, I think I just gave this away. So in Kartari Prayoga, the recipient of the verb can be in fourth case, right? Sampradane chaturthi. It's the recipient of the action. It could be in fourth case. Okay, so number four, if I use a noun in the sense of cause, what case could it be in? So when we see the cause of something, another word for cause is hetu. So heto tritiya we can use. Heto tritiya, we can use a third case. If this is looking like totally foreign, you might want to go back and review the first, second, and third case, right? That's okay to go back. They're only 30 minutes, so you can do them all while you're in quarantine. You can go back and look at all of the different first, second, third case. Yeah. Number four, if I use a noun number five, do you remember the first four cases of Rama Shabda? I hope you do. Let's see. Let me pull that up. Okay. So you have Rama Shabda there. So Rama Shabda, let's go through it together. We'll start from the beginning. You can close your eyes if you think you know it. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. You can chant with me. Ramam, Ramo, Raman. Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Then fourth case, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyah. Okay, so that fourth case again, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyah. Okay, so these are this Rama Shabda, you really want to get down. Okay, this Rama Shabda comes so often that if we get this, we can get really far in the language. So just, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. You got to just repeat it a few times. So if it's not becoming familiar, it just takes more repetition, takes more of just trying to sit down and remember it. Okay. Now, we started looking at the fourth case last time, Chaturthi Vibhaktihi. Okay, you can repeat after me. Chaturthi Vibhaktihi. We started talking about this last time. Fourth case is often used to convey one particular karaka which we saw before. Let me, 1 second, make this a little bit smaller here. Okay, so fourth case is employed to convey often the sampradana, right? This is what we were talking about in the warm-up. In the warm-up, the sampradanam is often conveyed by the fourth case. So in Sanskritam, you'll see that Ramaya, Devaya, all these things, it's often the recipient of action, or Brahmanaya dhanam dadati. I give money to the priest. Brahmanaya. They're the sampradana. They're the recipient of the giving, of the action. They're the one who receives. Then we also saw this last time that a destination of going or moving can either be considered as a karma or it can be given the fourth case. Now, last time I said we can call it non-karaka, but really we can say that it's, let's just keep it non-karaka. I don't want to confuse anything, but the destination can also be conveyed in the fourth case, okay? So that fourth case can also be used. So the example there is Devadattaha Gramaya Gacchati. So Devadatta Gacchati goes to where? To the Grama. So we can say that in the second case or the fourth case. Now Grama means village. So Gramam or Gramaya. Okay. So let's go to the next one here. Anybody have any questions so far? You can let me know in the chat. So we want to remember Sampradanam is the karaka that the vibhakti is connected with. So vibhakti, the case can often convey a karaka, right? Karaka, so far we've seen karta karaka, karma karaka, karana karaka, and sampradana karaka. Okay, so this fourth case is connected with sampradana karaka. Oh, okay, this came up again. Okay, now the non-karaka vibhaktis. Okay, so again, the vibhakti convey karaka could convey other things. Now this one's really important. The purpose of an action. So the reason why I do something, the purpose of action can be put in the fourth case. So punyaya devan yajate. So notice that there's no first case here, okay? So we need to supply a first case. We can say saha or devadattaha, whatever. We'll say saha. Saha means he. He, yajate, worships. Worships who? Devas. For what purpose? To gain punya. Now, when you're translating the fourth case in the sense of purpose, you can even write for the purpose of. Okay, so let's add that. We can write that down there. So we can even translate this as for the purpose of. Okay, so we can write one worships devas for the purpose of punya. So we can do that there as well. Okay, so, and so we'll see an example of that in a little bit. We're gonna do one, I'll pull up my camera and we can do one together there. Okay. But sampradanakaraka, then we saw the object of moving or going, the purpose of action, and here are some other ones. Okay, so now this is just like what we saw, pratik, antarena, etc. It just, if you have a word connected to these, then you get the fourth case. The first one should be easy, namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. So Shivaya, right, is the fourth case, just like Ramaya. So Shivaya, because it's connected to the word Namaha, meaning salutation or my bowing or my prostration, right? Then that case, then that word, sorry, then that noun gets the fourth case. Okay, so it's like the object of salutation in a way. So you say, Ishaya Namaha, Om, right? Hanumate Namaha. That's Hanumat in the fourth case, okay. Om Namo Narayanaya, all fourth case, just like Ramaya, Narayanaya, Shivaya. Okay, Swasti. Swasti, we saw Swasti mantra. We saw in Badram Karnebihi, you see the word Swasti there too. So Swasti Janebhyaha. So Swasti means welfare or auspiciousness. So Swasti Janebhyaha. So who is the object of the welfare? The people. So it's may there be welfare for the people. So for the people. Okay, then we have Swaha. So when you're with the priest, he'll say Swaha, right? So many times Swaha when they're doing a big yajna or the homa, right? So that in the homa, they'll say Indraya Swaha, Indraya Swaha, or whatever devata you're worshiping. Now that whatever's connected to Swaha gets the fourth case. Okay, Namaha, Swasti, Swaha. So those are some of the words that are connected there. All right. So, you know the prayer, so Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam, right? Swasti Prajabhyah. So that Prajabhyah is the fourth case there too. 4-2. So let's go to the back of the book. So we'll do some of the exercise. So this is page 173 in the back of your book. So 173. You can see these exercises here. I'm going to pull up my camera, so I'm going to stop sharing. Let's do that. So you're going to start seeing my screen, or my paper rather. All right. This is a glass table, so you can also see through the table. Okay. So let's look at number 7. Okay, so there's one question. We'll just take a pause and I'll answer that one question. Harprasadji, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. Can we say, may there be welfare to the people?
We could say welfare to the people as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing to note there is that when we're translating Chaturthi Vibhakti, right, it's fourth case. Sometimes it's easy to remember, translate it with as for, F-O-R. So for the people, or I'm giving this for the priest. So it's one way of remembering. So the second case, we can say to the person, or in the fourth case, we can say for the person or for the purpose of. So it's just one way of remembering how to translate that fourth case. We can use that F-O-R. Okay. So this one, Shishyo Mokshaya Vedan Patataha. Okay. So our verb, it doesn't really look like a verb, but patataha. That's our verb at the end there. So let's write this together. Patataha. So if you don't, I know you didn't write all these things on the side like I did. You don't have to do that. You can just put a dot and put them all in order like this with me. Okay. So we're going to select patataha. Dhatu of patataha. Pat dhatu. 1P, to study or to read. Ting pratyaha. So this is, we're in present tense, right? Lat lakaraha. Kartari prayogaha. Pratama purusha dvivachanam. Third two. So this is right? Gacchati, gachataha, gacchanti. Gacchasi, gachataha, gachatha. Gachami, gachava, gachama. I don't know why I did a gacha, but pataha, same thing. Patati, patataha, patanti. Patasi, patataha, patata, patami, patavaha, patamaha. Right? That's how we have to do the cases. All right. So I need help with the next ones. So now we look for which word? We look for which case? Can you point with your fingers? Which case we look for? Okay, we look for first case. Yeah, number one. We can look for number one. Okay, number one. Now, this word could be 1, 2, or 2, 2. We don't really know, but let's assume it's 1, 2, right? Okay, so let's take it. So shishyo. So it could be 2, 2 also. You just take it and see if it makes sense as 1, 2, or 2, 2, right? You got to see the context there. Pratipadika. Shishya. Akarantaha. Pullingaha. Supratyaya. This is, right, first case. Pratama vibhakti dvivachanam. Notice how this will match this. If this is in dvivachanam, if this is talking about two people, this will be talking about two people. If this is talking about two people, this is talking about two people. It goes vice versa. They match each other also. Chicken or egg, we don't know which one comes first, but they go together. And vibhakti artha, right? So we're in the kartari prayoga. So it's going to be kartari prathama. 2 patata. Because it's a karaka vibhakti, we want to connect it to, we'd write to which verb? To patata. Okay. So far we have the translation as shishya. Shishya means students. So the 2 students study. Okay, now we want to figure out what did they study, right? So let's look at, so we go verb, first case, then right to left. So we want to pick up our next word, Vedan. Pratipadika Veda Akarantaha Punlingaha Supratyaha. Can you tell me the case and the Vibhakti Arthaha in the chat? So the case and the Vibhakti Arthaha. So first you want to tell me the case, comma, and the Arthaha. What is the meaning of the case? So in the chat, you're still typing. Even if other people have written it, you can join along with them. All right, so let's see. Okay, so starting to see some answers. All right. So this word looks like, if it's Veda, we can just think of Rama, right? So if it was Rama, it'd be Raman. So if you look at your chart on page 89, Raman, you find Dvitiya Vibhaktihi Bahuvachanam. So 2, 3. When you write 2, 3, make sure in your head you're saying Dvitiya Vibhaktihi Bahuvachanam. Don't lose that vocabulary. It's too early to lose the vocabulary. We just learned it, so we don't want to lose it, okay? It's very important. Now the Vibhakti Arthaha, right? Two students read, what do they read? They read the Vedas. So this is actually correct. What people have said is Karmani Dvitiya. So it's second case in the sense of object. So the two students, they study Vedas, right? Plural. It's plural because it's Bahuvachanam, right? Vedas. After Sanskrit class, we will also study Vedas. Shishyaha Vedan Patanti. That's what we will do. Okay. Now, let's look at the next word. Mokshaya. So we know this is 2, 3. Now, mokshaya, right? We know the pratipadika, moksha, akarantaha, punlingaha, supratyaya. Okay, now can you again tell me the supratyaya and the vibhakti arthaha? Okay, now pay attention to the vibhakti arthaha. Which meaning is it in the sense of? Okay, so out of the 4th cases, if you look at page, I think it's 79, page 79, there's a lot of meanings for the 4th case. Now, 4th case in the sense of which meaning? There's a little bit more tricky. Oh, I gave it away. So we know it's 4th case, but 4th case in the sense of which meaning? So you tell me the vibhakti arthaha in the chat. Let's see if anyone gets it. Give you another 30 seconds. Okay, let's do some process of elimination. First thing we learned was Sampradana Chaturthi. So if it was Sampradana, I would translate this as the students study the Vedas. They study the Vedas to moksha or for moksha? Are they reading? Are they studying it? Is moksha the recipient of studying? Is moksha the recipient of studying? No. We're not giving anything. They're not the recipient of action. What it is this is the purpose of studying. Shishyas study the Vedas for the purpose of moksha. So we can say, fourth case, in sense of purpose. Or you can just write purpose, right? Whatever is easier. Translation. 2 students, right? Shishyo patataha, study, Vedan, the Vedas, mokshaya, for the, oh, my handwriting is not going very well, is it now? For the purpose of moksha. Two students study the Vedas, Vedas, for the purpose of moksha. Okay. So again, we look at this, right? We go to the verb. Studies, who studies? The students, 2 students study. They study what? They study the Vedas. They study Vedas for what purpose? For the purpose of moksha. Okay. Or Prasadji, go ahead.
Yeah, so it is 2 things. One is it is non-karaka.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
the second thing, it is wrong to say, which is in the sense of the verb. Correct?
In the sense of what?
In the sense of the verb patataha, or patataha.
Yeah, we wouldn't say connected to patata. It's not a karaka there.
Yeah, because it is non-karaka.
Yeah, correct. Because it's
Okay,
not.
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at number 8. Chandra Surya Bhyam Namaha. And if while we're doing number 8, if you want me to do another example, I'll do number 2. Otherwise, we can continue on with 5th case. Okay, so let me know if you think that's helpful. But let's look at number 8 in the meantime. So Chandra Surya Bhyam Namaha. There's only 2 words here. So let's start with Namaha, the one on the right side. Okay, so I'm writing Namaha is actually a Subantam. It's what we call an avyaya, meaning it doesn't have a case really. Okay, even though it looks like Ramaha, it's not 1-1. It's just, that's how it is. Namaha is, there's no declension. It doesn't decline. Namaha, Namo, Namaha. Not like that. It doesn't decline. It's always Namaha. So we can just say Pratipadika is Namaha. We can even note that it's avyaya if we want to, meaning that it doesn't have a case. So we can put the case is 0 if we want to say that. No case. Okay. All right. So Namaha, my salutations. Okay. Now Chandra Surya Bhyam. This is a little bit tricky for the Pratipadika. Now it looks like 2 words. We know Chandra and we know Surya. Chandra is moon and Surya is sun. Right? But this is actually one big compound. It's one word. They combine 2 nouns into one. It's called a compound. Now, we haven't quite learned how to do that, but it's good to know that those exist. So, Pratipadika, we can just say Pratipadika is Chandra, Surya, which is an Akaranta Punlinga word. It just means, right, the moon and the sun, or sun and moon. It feels better in English to translate as sun and moon for some reason. Okay, Supratya. What case is this? What can you show me with your fingers? Or you can type it, whatever is faster for you. Okay, 4 and then what number? 2, yeah, 4, 2. Okay, so like, how would that look like Rama Shabda? Ramabhyam, right? Ramabhyam. Ramaya, Ramabhyam, then Ramebhyaha. Let's do one more time. Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhya. Okay, so this is 4, 2. Vibhakti arthaha. Again, this is non-karaka. So we can just say connected to namaha. Because it's connected to namaha, it gets the fourth case. That's all we really need to say. So, salutations to the sun and moon. Okay, how are we doing? Now, do we want to do one more example or should we move on quickly in the next few minutes? All right, let's continue on then. So your homework will be do all the examples for fourth case. So that's page 173. If there's, yeah, I don't think there's too many for fourth case. So if there's too many in your mind, then do even numbers, whichever works for you. But make sure you're doing practice, because if you practice the fourth case, inadvertently, you're practicing second case and you're practicing first case. Okay, so you're practicing all of the cases and they build on each other. Example 3, is it a typo? It says tyagaya. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, I'll look at that afterwards. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me go back to the other screen and we'll just quickly introduce the fifth case and then we'll move on with our Vedanta class. Okay, so you want to flip back. We're going to flip back to page 89, Rama Shabda, page 89, Rama Shabda. Okay, all right. So we saw fourth case, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha. You're probably sick of me saying that. So now let's look at the fifth case. So fifth case, ready? Repeat after me. Ramat or Ramad. Ramat or Ramad with a da. Okay? Ramat or Ramad. It can be either or. Okay? Now, more commonly, we see with the takara, the first one. Okay, but if it's sometimes if it's at the end of a sentence, you'll see Ramad with a dakara. Okay. Then 5-2, Ramabhyam. Ramabhyam. A lot of ahs. Okay, not Ramabhyam. Ramabhyam. Rama is feminine. Okay, word, different word. So Ramabhyam. And then Ramebhyaha. Okay. Here's the nice thing. We only have 1 minute, but 5-2 and 4-2 are the same. Okay. So Rama, that we make it long. So Rama, and then we have Bhyam. Becomes long and then Bhyam. And then 5-3, that A gets replaced by A. So Rame, and then we have Bhyaha. So Rame Bhyaha. A becomes A, so Rame, then we had Bhya, so Rame Bhya. Now 5-1, all we do is we make that akara long and we add a takara or dakara, right? So Rama becomes Rama, so becomes that's long, elongated, and then we add a takara or dakara. Either one. So You can repeat after me. Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyah. Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyah. Okay. Next time, we're going to look at the fifth case. In the Karaka connected is Apadanam. So something to look forward to. Apadane Panchami. Okay, we'll stop there. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay, so we'll come back at 8:10 and we'll start with our Vedanta class. I'm still here. If you have any questions, let me know.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. How can I access to my all old classes?
Yeah, so after this class, I will send a email, or tomorrow morning I'll send an email with a link. And that link you can open up and it has all of the old classes. So it'll say Sanskrit 2019 to 2020.
Okay.
And you click there and you just start from the beginning. There's a few classes, but I think they're only 30 minutes each, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. And what about the Google's? They are all on the Google C drive?
They're all on the Google Drive, yeah.
Okay. Okay. That is good. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, and you, are you getting my emails already?
No, I'm not getting it. That's why I called today, Linu.
Okay.
Because I was not getting your email actually.
Okay, so can you type your email address?
Yeah.
For
Where?
me? Or you can tell me right now. I can write it down.
Okay. Yeah. It is Chiku Shona, CHIKKU
KKU.
SONA, A for Apple,
Okay.
at yahoo.com or gmail.com. Any either one.
Okay, great. I will.
Yeah.
I will send.
Yeah. Yahoo or Gmail, both are same. This is my son's name. So
Got it.
Chiku Shona. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just thinking how I can access the old one.
Yep, I will send you that. Yeah, also.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course.